Hello friends, I'm Dr. Massengale. I will be teaching EDC 350 with you for this semester. I wish it were a seated class so we could get to know each other face to face, but we'll still get to know each other online, and I look forward to talking to all of you and via emails and discussion posts and that type thing, and we'll get to know each other really well. We have lots of fun things planned ahead. I want to tell you a little bit about me. I am an adjunct professor for AU. Anderson University has a very special place in my heart. All three of my adult children live in Anderson. They all three graduated from Anderson University and live there, and so we visit the big city of Anderson quite often. I've been teaching 30 plus years in public schools. Most of those years have been, of course, elementary, K through 5. The majority of my years have been K through 3, and then I've also been doing special education, which has been really neat too. So, as we get started in this process, I wanted to kind of point out a couple of things to you. One of the most important things for you to do is to take time to stop and look at the syllabus. The syllabus for this course outlines everything. There are due dates, all the assignments, all of the other important university information is in there, and you can look and read through that. Make sure that you are taking those due dates and you are putting them in something to remind you. I'm very OCD. I write things on a calendar and I put it on my phone, and sometimes I even put it on my computer in my email Office 365 system. So make sure you're putting all those things in there so that you know when things are due. Keep in mind that some of those due dates can change. I want to be open and helpful to you when you have other classes, and some of you will be in classes that will have a lot of overwhelming assignments, and when those assignments come up, I want to be able to help you out by maybe adjusting our due dates in some way if we have to. What I probably will do, I've not done it yet, but what I probably will do is actually do a printout that just has the assignments and due dates. I did that for my last online classes, and that seems to be a little bit easier because it's all in the syllabus, but it's also helpful to have it just in one little page where you can see everything so that you can kind of check things off as you do them. I will do that as part of this. The first thing that I want to talk to you about is a book called Kids Deserve It. This is a book that you're going to need to go buy. You can find it on Amazon between $18 to $20. I don't know that they have it in the bookstore at AU. I'm not sure. This was a book that Professor Penland in the education department shared with me, and she's used it with this class, and it is really a phenomenal book. You will find a lot of information in there that will help you as a classroom teacher. You will find a lot of information in there that will help you through this entire process as you go through the education program at AU. So I want you to make sure you get that book. With that book, we're going to do something that's called a Kids Deserve It learning log. I think that's what we've called it. And what you're going to be doing, I'm not going to tell you, okay, read chapter 1 this week or read pages 32 to 38, not doing any of that. I want you to read this at your leisure, but read it because you're going to need to read it. Because every single week you have to post something in that log. In that log, you'll be posting just a brief little summary about 2 to 3 things that maybe you've learned that you know will be beneficial to you as a classroom teacher. When you write those things in there, this is not a summary of a chapter or a summary of the pages. It's not a book report, for heaven's sakes. It's something I want you to get out of it, something that will help you, something that will be beneficial to you. So please make sure that you're reading that and keeping up with that. Go ahead and get that book. If you have any issues with getting the book, let me know. I'll help you figure something out. It's a good book. You're going to be glad you got it. Okay, second thing, let me look and make sure I've not left anything off of the Kids Deserve It book. No. Okay, second thing, we will have weekly discussion posts. In our weekly discussion post, you will be watching podcasts. Typically, that's what you'll see each week. Professor Penland has found some wonderful podcasts, and I'm not going to even vary from her selection of most of those because they are so good. So you'll be watching those. They're usually 30 minutes. I think maybe some of them might be an hour long. I can't remember, but you'll watch the podcast. Then you will write a response to that podcast. This is all spelled out for you, so don't panic. but you will write a response to the podcast, and those responses in the discussion post format are due each Wednesday. Now, once you have posted yours on Wednesdays, after that, for the rest of the week, you will respond to 3 of your classmates and what they wrote in their discussion post. Now, I probably don't have to say this, but I'm going to say it because some people may have never taken an online class. When you do a discussion post, it's just that. It's a discussion post. It's not you're going to go read your 3 classmates and you're going to say, oh, good, I love this, great idea, click, next person. Oh, love this, good idea, great, click, next person. No, you need to actually respond to what they've written. I appreciate the way you looked at what the author in the podcast said about blah, 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 blah. Okay, does that make sense? You'll see, you'll get the hang of this, and I'm not going to be tough on grading those. I just don't want the whole thing of, great, good response, thanks, love to read it. That's not going to be what I want to see. I want to see you responding to things. Okay, does that make sense? All right, so then, last but not least, I'm looking at my little list. Last but not least, the biggest thing about online classes is communication. That's the key to everything. You have got to communicate to me, and you've got to listen to my communications to you. Okay? I'm not your mom. I'm not going to be bugging you about, oh, you forgot to do this, you forgot to do that. I mean, I may send some gentle reminders from time to time because I know life gets in the way. But don't let this kind of fall on the back of the stack because it's an online class. I don't want you to miss some key assignments just because you forgot. Oh, I forgot I've got that online class. Don't do that. Don't do that. Make sure you don't. That's why it's important to plug in those dates on a calendar somewhere. I know some students have those calendars hanging on the walls in their dorm room. Do that. Put out the big, calendar on your desk, your phone, whatever. Just do those reminders so that you don't forget when things are due. Okay? But communicate to me if something comes up. I know last semester, one of my students was a mother of young children, and she had, both of her kids got sick at the same time. So she got behind on a couple of things. And so we talked, and I walked her through the process, and, we got things figured out because she communicated to me. So make sure you're communicating to me when anything comes up. I think that's everything. If you think of anything you have questions about, you know how to get in touch with me through Canvas. My email is pmassengale. It'll be in the syllabus. You can contact me that way. If for some reason something comes up and you just really need me urgently, I'll be glad to give out my cell number if I need to for texting because I'm on my cell phone all the time. So let me know that. I think we've covered everything. Oh, I was going to tell you, I'm not going to publish all of the modules. I'll publish a few to begin with because I don't want you to jump ahead and start panicking or think you need to go ahead and start doing some of the things later on down the road. It'll be a process because I want it to sink in through each module. I don't want us to just look at the whole thing and become overwhelmed. So I'll gradually do that. I didn't mean for this to be as long as it is, but hopefully it helped. Let me know if you have any questions.